Ever wondered how the rich seem to get richer while living modest lifestyles? The secret lies not in earning, but in smart spending and investing. You see, the wealthiest people in the world aren't necessarily the biggest spenders. They're the wisest spenders, understanding the value of a dollar and how to make it stretch. For them, it's all about value over luxury. Take Warren Buffett, for example. Despite being one of the richest people in the world, he still lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for a modest $31,500. It's not a sprawling mansion or a penthouse suite, but a comfortable home where he's lived for more than 6 decades. And this isn't because he can't afford to upgrade. It's a conscious choice to prioritize value and necessity over luxury and ostentation. Similarly, consider Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook. Despite his billions, he's often seen driving a modest car. It's not a flashy sports car or a luxury vehicle, but a practical, reliable car that gets him where he needs to go. Again, it's not that he can't afford something more expensive, it's that he understands the true value of money and chooses to spend it wisely. These examples show that the secret to living like a millionaire isn't about having a millionaire's budget. It's about making smart decisions, prioritizing value over luxury, and understanding the true worth of a dollar. It's about living within your means, not beyond, and making your money work for you rather than the other way around. So if you want to live like a millionaire, start thinking like one. Look for value, not luxury. Spend wisely, not recklessly. And remember, it's not about how much you earn, but how much you keep and grow. As you can see, wealth isn't about flashy displays, but rather smart decisions. What do the rich do differently? Let's dive into their specific frugal habits. The wealthy, contrary to popular belief, often practice a lifestyle of discerning spending. They prioritize value over luxury, recognizing that the most expensive option isn't always the best. Take Bill Gates, for example. Despite being one of the richest people in the world, he's known for his relatively modest lifestyle. He invests in quality over quantity, focusing on what brings real value to his life. Then there's Elon Musk. He sold most of his possessions and lives in a minimalist home. He understands that excess possessions can tie up resources and distract from what's truly important. These billionaires, and many like them, also make smart investment choices. They don't just save, they invest. They understand that money sitting idle depreciates over time due to inflation. Instead, they put their money to work, investing in stocks, bonds, real estate, or their own businesses. They don't chase quick profits, but rather focus on long-term sustainable growth. How they use credit is another key difference. While many of us might fear credit, the wealthy use it to their advantage. They leverage credit cards for rewards, cashbacks, and to build credit history, but they're cautious to not fall into debt. They understand that credit is a tool, not a crutch, and they use it wisely. And finally, the rich practice minimalism, not in the sense of owning less, but in the sense of owning only what they need and truly value. They cut out the excess, the distractions, focusing on what brings them joy and contributes to their goals. They understand that every unnecessary expense is a step away from financial independence. These are just a few habits of the wealthy. They might seem simple, but they require discipline, foresight, and a shift in mindset. And the beauty of it is, anyone can adopt these habits. You don't need to be a billionaire to start spending smartly, investing wisely, and living minimally. Adopting these habits can help you maintain and grow your wealth. You can enjoy a luxurious lifestyle without breaking the bank. How? Let's find out. Here's the catch. Living like the wealthy doesn't necessarily mean spending like the wealthy. It's about focusing on quality, not quantity. There's a common misconception that the more you spend, the more luxurious your life becomes. But that's far from the truth. The wealthy know the value of their money and they spend it wisely. Instead of buying a dozen designer bags, they might invest in a single timeless piece that will last for years and hold its value. It's not about depriving yourself, it's about making smart choices. Understanding the difference between what you want and what you need is crucial. Prioritizing your needs over your wants doesn't mean you can't indulge occasionally. It just means that when you do indulge, it's a treat, not a habit. Another strategy used by the wealthy is leveraging deals and hacks. Yes, even millionaires love a good bargain. There's a thrill in finding a great deal or discovering a shortcut. Whether it's using a coupon, waiting for a sale, or negotiating a better price, the wealthy know the value of a dollar saved. To illustrate, consider Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors of all time. Despite his immense wealth, he lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for $31,500, and he's known for his frugal habits. Or take Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, who is often seen in simple grey t-shirts instead of flashy designer clothes. Remember, wealth isn't about outward appearances. It's about having the financial freedom and stability to live the life you want. So, next time you're tempted to splurge on an expensive, trendy item, ask yourself, is this a smart choice? Can I find a better deal? Will this bring me long-term value? Being wealthy doesn't mean overspending. It's about enjoying quality and making smart choices. Remember, it's not about how much money you spend, but how wisely you spend it. Ever heard of skill stacking? Combined with frugal living, it can lead to financial independence faster. Skill stacking is not about being the best in the world at one specific thing. Rather, it's about being good at several skills that individually might not be world-class, but when combined, create a competitive advantage. This idea, advocated by entrepreneur Alex Hormozzi, is a critical component of financial freedom. Let's take an example. Imagine a person who's a decent public speaker, knows some basics about investing, and has a knack for networking. Individually, these skills might not make him a millionaire, but together, they could allow him to start a successful podcast on investing, leveraging his network to bring in high-profile guests and his public speaking to deliver engaging content. This could then open up avenues for passive income, sponsorships, affiliate marketing, or even selling his own financial products or courses. But how does frugality come into play? Well, while our friend is building his podcast, he's not splurging on the latest gadgets or luxury vacations. Instead, he's reinvesting the profits back into his business, maybe hiring a sound editor to improve the quality of his podcast, or investing in advertising to reach a larger audience. This is smart spending. The wealthy often practice this combination of skill stacking and frugal living. They understand that wealth is not just about earning more, but also about spending wisely, investing in things that will bring them more wealth in the future. And the beautiful part? This formula isn't exclusive to the 1%. Anyone can learn new skills and make smart spending choices. It's not about overnight success or winning the lottery. It's about steady, consistent progress, making one smart decision at a time. So start thinking about the skills you can stack, how you can reinvest your earnings, and where you can cut back. Remember, the journey to financial freedom is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Skill stacking and smart spending, your formula for financial freedom awaits. Cutting unnecessary expenses and focusing on essentials can help build wealth. Let's explore how. We often associate the 1% with extravagant lifestyles, but you'd be surprised to know that a significant portion of the wealthy practice minimalism and smart spending. They understand that wealth doesn't equate to the number of possessions, but rather the freedom to live without financial constraints. Take the story of Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest men on the planet. Despite his immense wealth, Buffett continues to live in the same modest home he bought in 1958 for just $31,500. He could afford any mansion, but he chooses not to indulge. Instead, he focuses his resources on value-creating investments. Similarly, Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, is known for his minimalist lifestyle. He's often seen wearing the same grey t-shirt, not because he can't afford designer clothes, but because he understands the value of simplicity and the importance of focusing on what truly matters. These examples show that the path to wealth isn't paved with excessive spending. Instead, it's about making smart decisions with your money, honing in on what is essential and cutting out the excess. It's about understanding the difference between needs and wants. Needs are the bare essentials: food, shelter, clothing. Wants, on the other hand, are things we desire but can live without. The latest smartphone, a designer handbag, a luxury car. The 1% understand this difference and prioritize their needs over their wants. They also understand the value of time. Rather than spending hours shopping for things they don't need, they invest their time in activities that generate value, like learning new skills, networking, or growing their businesses. To follow in their footsteps, start by auditing your expenses. Identify the areas where you're spending money on non-essentials and see if you can cut back. Remember, every dollar saved is a dollar that can be invested towards building wealth. Remember, unnecessary expenses are the enemy of wealth building. Why do many millionaires prioritize frugal living? Let's uncover the reasons. When we think about the lifestyles of the rich and famous, we often imagine lavish spending and extravagant purchases, but surprisingly, many of the wealthiest individuals are frugal spenders. They understand that the key to growing and maintaining wealth is not just about earning more, but also about spending less. Take the example of Warren Buffett, one of the world's wealthiest individuals. Despite his immense wealth, Buffett lives in a modest house that he bought over 5 decades ago and is known for his simple tastes. He understands the power of frugality and its role in wealth creation. Frugality is often misunderstood as being cheap, but it's far from that. It's about making strategic decisions about where and how to spend your money. It's about valuing quality over quantity, investing in assets that appreciate over time, and avoiding unnecessary expenses. One of the smart financial moves you can make today is to adopt a frugal mindset. This doesn't mean you have to live on a shoestring budget or deprive yourself of the things you enjoy. It simply means making conscious decisions about your spending habits. For instance, instead of buying a brand new car, consider purchasing a used one in good condition. This can save you thousands of dollars that can be invested elsewhere. Or instead of dining out every night, learn to cook and enjoy homemade meals. Not only will this save you money, but it can also be a healthier option. Another smart financial move is to practice minimalism. This means focusing on the essentials and cutting out unnecessary expenses. By decluttering your life and focusing on what truly matters, you can save money and live a more fulfilling life. Lastly, remember that frugality isn't about sacrificing your happiness for the sake of saving money. It's about making smart choices that align with your financial goals and values. As we've learned, frugality isn't about being cheap. It's a strategic move towards financial independence. Adopting a minimalist mindset can accelerate your wealth building. How? Let's delve into it. Minimalism often conjures images of stark, empty living spaces and a lifestyle devoid of joy, but in reality it's about making conscious and purposeful decisions. It's about choosing quality over quantity, focusing on what truly adds value to your life and letting go of the rest. So how does this tie into wealth building? Well, it's quite simple. The principle of minimalism encourages us to spend less on the non-essentials, freeing up our financial resources for more meaningful pursuits, like investing and growing our wealth. For instance, let's consider the story of a tech entrepreneur named Jake. He was earning a 6-figure salary, but found himself living paycheck to paycheck. After discovering minimalism, he started cutting out excess. He sold his luxury car and opted for a more affordable and fuel-efficient model. He started cooking at home more often instead of dining out. He cancelled subscriptions that he rarely used. All these changes didn't drastically alter his lifestyle, but they did drastically alter his bank balance. He was able to save a significant portion of his income, which he then invested in mutual funds and stocks. Over time, these investments grew, providing him with a steady stream of passive income. But it wasn't just about the money. Jake found that by focusing less on material possessions, he had more time and energy for things that truly mattered to him, like spending time with loved ones and working on passion projects. There's a common saying that the best way to double your money is to fold it in half and put it back in your pocket. This isn't to say you should never spend money, but rather spend it wisely. Invest in things that give you long-term value and happiness, not just fleeting pleasure. So if you want to build wealth, consider adopting a minimalist mindset. Start by analyzing your spending habits, identify areas where you can cut back, and redirect those funds towards investments. Minimalism isn't about having less, it's about making room for more savings, more investments, and ultimately more wealth. Wealthy individuals often use real estate to grow their wealth. Let's uncover their secrets. When it comes to wealth creation, real estate is often the cornerstone of a frugal investment strategy. You might think of luxury mansions and high-end condos when you picture the homes of the rich. But in reality, many of the wealthiest individuals opt for modest homes that provide value over ostentation. The 1% understand the power of real estate as an appreciating asset. Take Warren Buffett, for instance, who still resides in the same 5-bedroom house he purchased over 60 years ago. This isn't an example of a billionaire being stingy, but rather a testament to the idea of value-based spending. Buffett knew the house would provide everything he needed without draining his resources, allowing more capital for investments. If you're looking to build wealth like the 1%, consider the potential of rental properties. These can provide a steady stream of passive income while also appreciating in value over time. For example, self-made millionaire Grant Sabatier bought a duplex at the age of 24 and turned it into a rental property. Today, the income from that investment covers his living expenses, allowing him to focus on other wealth-building activities. But how do you get started in real estate without a hefty bank account? The answer lies in smart financing. Many wealthy individuals leverage the power of mortgages to finance their investments. This allows them to purchase properties with a small fraction of the cost up front, while using rental income to cover the mortgage payments. Another strategy employed by the wealthy is house hacking, where you live in one part of a multi-unit property and rent out the rest. This way, your tenants essentially pay your mortgage, freeing up more of your income for other investments. So, if you're looking to create wealth through frugal investments, real estate should be on your radar. Remember, it's not about buying the most lavish property, but the one that offers the best return on investment. Real estate is more than just a place to live, it's a strategic investment for long-term wealth.